What's up, guys? It's Will Hervey. Today we'll be using a grading scale which is almost on its way to being nationally recognized, and will soon take over the current letter grading we have in school. The system is built 1 to 5 in order of worst to best. Let me show you.
Los pingüinos me la van a mascar. Kawasaki, Kago, Crico y Stripper.
The final grade of something is determined by which penguin we stop on. Let's begin with the first trade.
Mrs. Buckeye, I have this music paper clip. It was used by Miles Davis himself to hold his paper together. Additionally, it can hold your paper together. And if you don't take this, my life will end 5 years shorter because of the metals that are now seeping into my hand.
Oh, well, it does seem dangerous that I would want to take on that burden of the dangerous metals. But I do love music, and Miles Davis was pretty cool. So I think I would be willing to trade my birthday party duck for your paperclip.
Awesome, thank you.
This first trade was pretty easy. I just lied my way through it. Miles Davis did not touch this paperclip, but that was my ethos. Pathos, the metals were seeping into my hand, which is also not true. But logos is true, it can hold your papers together. I don't think it matters whether my statements were true or not, but whether they took it, and Miss Buckeye did, so lucky me. I give this one a 3 rating.
Los pingüinos me la van a mascar. Kawasaki, Kago.
Let's go to the next one.
Alright, this duck was found after a horrible attack and robbery in its home. And then the home burned down. It is now homeless, but I can't provide for it. So I'm trying to find a new home for this duck. And then also the duck makes noises sometimes. So it's very functional and has great utility.
Yeah.
What do you have to trade for me?
I have a Cardinals bobblehead
Oh, I love it.
of Paul Goldschmidt.
Wow.
So trade 2 was obviously a win for me. I don't know why she gave me this bobblehead. Supposedly it's worth like $50, and this duck was probably, I don't know, worth like a good Snickers or 2. Anyways, my ethos was we had been friends for a long time, and I have a very trustworthy aura. I didn't have to say it, it's very implied. Pathos is the duck was homeless, bit down in the dumps, and logos, it can squeak sometimes if you give it enough drinks on a Thursday night. This one's definitely pretty good. I would give it a solid 4.
Los pingüinos me la van a mascar. Kawasaki, Kawasaki y Stripper, Kago. Kawasaki, Crico.
Alright, Miss Beshan, I've got the best deal ever. I've got a Paul Goldschmidt bobblehead and photo holder. Imagine any photo in there and his head bobbles. Doesn't get more bobble than this. Imagine that picture of Liam Donnelly over there in this photo holder next to the dog. The dog's parents were killed in a terrible car accident. What do you have to offer me?
How does that make me want the frame of the dog's parents being killed in a terrible accident? Okay. I would like that frame though, because I have, first of all, Brent also is a Cardinals memorabilia collector.
Ooh.
So that is also a very big persuasive tool there. I have a TV. Relic, honestly, I believe that I've heard people use these to make aquariums out of and such. So,
I'll take it.
you gonna make a deal?
Yes.
Shake on it.
Thank you.
Well done.
This trade, it could not have gone more perfectly. CRT TVs are not worth as much as people think. They're like those old Disney VHSs that everyone has, but everyone thinks are worth $1 million. But this had way more appeal. Everyone wants this thing. Ethos, Sebastian has known me for a long time because my siblings competing on the speech team, and now that I'm in high school, we interact a whole lot more. And Pathos, the dog's parents, are dead. Logos, she had a lot of photos, and, you know, this thing was perfect for it. This trade is easily worth 5 out of 5. An entire Los Pingüinos me la van a mascar, Kawasaki, Kago, Kriko, Estripe out of Los Pingüinos me la van a mascar, Kawasaki, Kago, Kriko, Estripe. I knew that if I wanted to continue trading, I needed to test the TV and see if it worked. So I brought my Wii to lunch one day, and we started the very first Wii Wednesday. Context for this trade is very important. I was sitting in my speech class discussing with Miss Sebastian about the trade we had just had the day before. Randomly, one of the kids in my class wanted to trade a TV that was supposedly longer than his wingspan. I had no clue what I was getting myself into, but I headed to his house that night.
Alright, Lyric, I have Bestian's old TV that has sat in the corner for many, many years before she even came here. It's legit. It works. I tested it this morning.
And how's that big old TV there for you?
Oh yeah. Thank you. Deal?
Yep.
Yeah.
When I started the paperclip project, I had hopes, but I had no clue I'd get to this point. I got a $400 TV out of nowhere. Ethos in my trade, that's Sebastian's old TV, it's been there since before she worked here. Pathos, I was smiling and laughing the whole time so he dare not ruin my mood. And Logos, it works and served me well, and it even made me a steak dinner. If I could rate this even higher, I would. And so I did. It gets a Los Pingüinos in English.
The Penguins will chew me up, Kawasaki, Kago, Kriko, and Stripper.
Truly one of the greatest honors of all time.
On the drive home, I reflected. I have a huge TV in my car now. What was I gonna do with it? It barely fit in my car, and I had to keep a hand on it the whole time to make sure it didn't bang anything. That's right, ladies. I drive one-handed. The other hand is usually for holding onto your thought. Copy of Lego Star Wars 2 for the Nintendo GameCube. Also, the TV works perfectly, and this video does not show you how absolutely huge it is. It's literally insane. So yeah, I had a $400 TV on my hands. Obviously, someone was going to take it. That means someone had to have something of greater value than this. And I had a bunch of close calls for trades, but I literally could not get rid of this thing. It started to show up in my dreams. I couldn't stop. I couldn't get rid of it. No one wanted it. Or they did, but they always offered a coffee table or something like that. Eventually, I just had to settle for trading with my sister Helen.
Hi, Helen. I've been your brother for a billion years. Okay? And if you don't trade me, you are an awful sibling. And anyways, I've got this TV, okay? And it works. It's big enough, it's huge, that you will finally be able to play Wii Sports well and stop losing. And... yeah. What do you have for me?
All 10 of these.
All 10 of your aura points.
Yeah.
This is definitely a downgrade, but only because Helen has such little aura. Ethos, I'm her brother, and I have been for quite a few years. Pathos, I needed this so bad. All of my motivation for this project died. I couldn't get rid of this thing. Logos, the TV worked perfectly, it's huge, and she needed it to finally be able to see where the hole is in Wii Golf. This one probably only gets a 1 or a 2. We'll say a 2.
Los Pingüinos me la van a mascar. Kawasaki.
In even worse despair than I was before, I had no clue where to go next. I wasn't going to try to explain to my parents what aura was, nor my 7-year-old brother in fear of him tattling on me and asking what aura is, and then that's an even bigger conversation with them. So I instead just called Santa.
Gonna call my buddy Santa Claus. I know his number starts with a 9 and ends with 1. I don't remember what's in the middle though. Hey Santa, it's me, your #1 nicest man on the planet, and volunteer elf on the weekends, Will Hervey. I was wondering if you wanted to take Helen Hervey's, yes, Helen Hervey, naughty list extraordinaire. I was wondering if you'd like to take her 10 aura points. Yeah, I know, it's all she's got. Yeah, do I get... Oh man, my entire family line?
Hi, if you don't understand what just happened, I don't blame you. So I got on the phone with Santa Claus, and in exchange for Helen's small amount of aura, he has graced my descendants with 10 years of permanent nice list. That starts at birth, you know, up till the age of 10, and then after that, Christmas, boom, they're done. But, you know, they can redeem themselves. This may seem strange because of how little aura it was, but this is kind of a callback to that time I helped him back in that helicopter crash in 1967, but I don't think it matters that much. But Ethos, I'm Will Hervey, nicest man on the planet. I've done volunteer work with Santa before, and Pathos, we all feel bad for how little aura Helen has, so this was kind of like a pity from him, you know, and Logos, aura is still aura. I give this trade a good solid 5 out of 5. Now for some questions. What was hard? Definitely getting rid of the TV. I'm not even happy with how I did it. I had I had nothing else to do. I completely clueless. I tried to find stuff, and then someone would go back on their decision, or again, someone would offer me like a coffee table. Like, I'm not doing that. I had a $400 TV, but I mean, maybe I should have. I don't know. What was easy? Getting Beshan's TV, it was surprisingly easy. We talked about it before the video just briefly about what she had to trade, and she was very quickly open to the idea. Which rhetorical device was most helpful? I would definitely say Ethos. It might be narcissistic, but I think it applies to everyone as well. But who you are as a person can 100% affect how other people think of you and are more open to ideas from you. Lyric, the kid who gave me the huge TV, I've barely talked to him ever. But, he thinks I'm a really cool guy, and we have this mutual respect, and I think that's something awesome. Do I think I ended with the best trade? For the sake of this question, let's say my last trade was genuinely the last TV, because that's basically what it was. I mean, I think so, probably, but I've got no use for it. I have no room for it in my room. My walls aren't even that wide. I've got a very tiny room. You know, my family already has a very adequate TV. It's a little smaller, but it's fine. And, you know, I tried to talk to my parents about how I was going to sell it or something like that, and that was like a huge deal for some reason, and it ended up being a huge yelling argument in the car. I was not the one yelling. My siblings and my parents were going crazy over this TV. It was kind of dumb. But what I learned, your connections are very important, and impressions are important, and when you want something, there's a whole lot of ways you can say it.
Los pingüinos me la van a mascar. Kawasaki Kago, Crico Stripper. Kago, Stripper Crico. Kawasaki, Kawasaki. Los pingüinos me la van a mascar. Kawasaki Kago, Crico Stripper. Kago, Stripper Crico. Kawasaki, Kawasaki.